Hey, CWF fans, Zack Steel here, and we have a very special interview this evening as I am joined by the brand new D1 champion, the risen Brandon Collins. How are you doing this evening, Brandon?
I'm doing well. How are you, Zach?
I am blessed, sir, very blessed. So now, coming off of one of the most arguably largest singles career victory you've had, how are you feeling?
I feel wonderful. It's great. I finally have my first ever singles title, and the controversy behind it. Yeah, it's a little fishy, I would say. Um, the match was obviously unexpected. I just gone through absolute hell with Manimal in a tag match against Flo and his little Enterprise goons, and then Marshall, of course, likes to do what Marshall does and abuses power, I guess is the easier term to use.
Well, some may call it abuse of power, but let's go back to this speculation on the match, as you're saying, and how you wanted. And there has been some, I guess you would say, a conspiracy of it being a no DQ or a DQ match, and on how you won. So let's go ahead, roll the footage, and let's watch it back.
So Briggs is hoisted by his own petard.
This was not.
We
How is that
have
not
a new D1 champion.
This was never stated to be a no disqualification match.
It was never stated to not be a disqualification match.
That's an obvious DQ. But this referee, who is this guy?
Referee Kyle called it down the middle.
Is he though?
Really, you call that down the middle, Donnie?
With all the shenanigans that have went on tonight, I'd say it's fair play.
That's why he running away
And
right
that's
now.
why he ran away. He knows he messed up. He knows it.
So as we see there, Brandon, you made quite the expedited exit from the ring. Now, was that because you knew that maybe something may have went awry, or is that because you were self-preservation and trying to save yourself?
Well, that was my second match of the night, so I was also pretty tired. And I also knew that if I hung around long enough, some more, how would you say, shenaniganery would also happen to me. So I felt it best to try and get back to the back as quick as possible.
Fair enough. So there's another elephant in the room per se, and that is the martial law match that has been put forth for Donnie Harris Jr. And the stipulations to that match are nobody is allowed to interfere in the locker room besides you. You are the only one allowed to save Donnie. And the only way you can save him is to first forfeit your newly crowned D1 championship. And after everything you've been through, the blood, the sweat, the tears, the reign of tyranny of having to serve under Simon Phillips and disobey, and now you have become successful on your own. How does that make you feel with the stipulations in the match?
I mean, to put it bluntly, it's ridiculous. It's more of Marshall abusing his power continuously, like he always does. He had to find a way to, keep jabbing at me, but also getting at someone else who's been on his radar, who's been annoying him, I guess you could say, even though Donnie's just doing his job. And frankly, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm still contemplating. I mean, I just got this, but I also can't stand for something like that to happen to Donnie. I mean, he's just an announcer, so I mean, I have no idea.
So you would almost kind of say you take a pity on Donnie because as he stated in his interview, that he is not an in-ring competitor. He has no real training. He doesn't know how to defend himself. But what I guess the question a lot of people have asked is, what has he done for you to want to step up to the plate and be his stand-in punching bag?
I think the bigger question is, how is everyone okay with allowing Marshall to keep doing what he's doing. He may be running the company, but there's more people in the company than just him. I've been thinking about maybe we should overthrow Marshall. Maybe we put somebody else in charge. Someone who doesn't rule like a tyrant or a dictator. Because pulling stuff like this, going after an announcer who's not trained, who is definitely not going to be able to defend himself against even anyone in the locker room. Hell, Jet Danger might even put up a fight. There's just so much around that. It's hard to say. But it's
so now it's funny that you bring up overthrowing Marshall Briggs. Now that has happened multiple times in the past where people have overthrown him, attempted to take power from him, and it has all ended badly for those who have tried to double cross Marshall Briggs. And we all know how sometimes the Marshal may have a temper, but he did say that this was martial law and he is righting the wrongs that have been done to him. Can you think of anything that you may have done to him that would put you in the crosshairs?
Well, you're looking at one reason right here. I guess another reason is maybe he just doesn't like me. Maybe he thinks I don't deserve what I've gotten. Everybody's always looked down on me my entire career, whether it be for my size or my in-ring capability. But I always show everyone that I have more heart, courage, passion, and drive than anyone to get what I want. And this is what it looks like when I succeed. Gold.
When it comes to your career in the CWF and your possible future or not future, depending on where things go as champion, when it comes to you specifically, do you have any words that you would want to say to Marshall Briggs? Anything for him personally, and his attack on you and your championship?
Well, he done messed around and found out. All right. You play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. And not once, but twice after I've had a match, he has come out there and given me, so gracefully, a title match after I'm already exhausted and worn out and beaten down. As if, that's what you're supposed to do, because it's not. It's not how you give out shots to people. You don't go when they're beaten down and take advantage of them. That's called being a bitch.
Those are your words, very strong words from the risen Brandon Collins. And
Whoa.
I am inclined to agree with most of that. So my next question is, in January, we have Winter Warfare. If you could choose any match at all against Marshall Briggs, what would it be?
Well, I already know if I just say a normal match, he's going to bitch and moan and say, oh, no, I need to have my enterprise out there so they can get involved and help me win, just like it always has been since he joined them. I'd say Extreme Rules. That way I can take advantage of that and not only get my hands on him, but also put a little steel on his back and maybe a little wood like he did to me at Panther Brawl.
So a little bit of payback, a little bit of retaliation. Now, an Extreme Rules match.
Retribution.
Retribution from the risen Brandon Collins. We'd expect nothing less. So if it is an Extreme Rules match, then that would entail that the Enterprise could possibly interfere. Would you want to maybe have any type of special stipulations?
If I could name one, it would be that if anyone in the entire CWF roster, announcers, refs, anyone gets involved that isn't named, Risen Brandon Collins and Marshall Briggs, then he will not be able to win the title. No way, shape, or form.
So an Extreme Rules match with no outside interference, just you and him, mano a mano, squashing it all, leaving it all in the ring and being, or on the stage or concrete, wherever it may end up.
I just want to fight it out like men. Give the people what they want. I'll give the people exactly what they want when I beat his ass.
Okay. So when it comes to you and your championship, we saw the footage where Flo could have prevented you from winning. He didn't. So what do you think about the relationship of the Enterprise with Marshall Briggs and Marshall Briggs and Justin Flo's relationship? How do you feel about that? Do you think it'll end well? Will Marshall end up, tearing the Enterprise down from the inside out?
To be honest, I didn't see it at first because I was about half conscious during the match, and I didn't even realize what was going on until it happened. So when I went back and watched it, I did notice that. And what that tells me is that there's some tension, maybe some beef that, came to light. I'm not sure. I'm not in the Enterprise. I can't tell you the details, but obviously Flo chose to do that under his own power. And, I haven't heard any repercussions about that from Marshall. So who knows?
And it's funny you bring that up because Marshall and Flo, they've had a very interesting relationship, considering that Flo did beat Marshall. Flo cashed in on a bounty on the Marshall. So it even caught me as a surprise when they decided to align.
You were not the only one surprised. I'll tell you that right now.
And it was really intriguing that as soon as Marshall joined, it went from Flo Enterprise to the Enterprise. They locked Flo out right out the gate. So that also caught. I was like, man,
that right there is more of Marshall on his power trip and abusing his power. I guarantee. First little meeting they had when they all got together and Marshall joined.
Yeah.
He was like, we need to change this up. It should just be the Enterprise, instead of just Flo's Enterprise. It's just the Enterprise, mainly because he wants to run it. He wants to get Flo out of there so that he can be in charge, because that's what he loves to do. He's running, his own company.
Who he is.
His own faction.
Yeah. He had his own faction, the Brigade, but we don't even hear about the Brigade anymore.
No, I don't even think I was around for that. I think I came a little later after that. I think I've been in CWF for almost 2 years, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Just... Hey, Brandon, now watching that clip on your historic win, what are your thoughts on that? How are you feeling now, and what were you feeling in that moment?
Oh, man, that was just special. That just shows the passion and the belief. The fans really wanted a real D1 champion that they could be proud of, someone who could carry this belt with the honor and respect it deserves, and having a moment like that, man, those are once in a lifetime. I wasn't expecting anything like that. That was awesome. Very awesome.
That was, it looks like a very beautiful moment. And I was there, and I didn't get in the ring, but watching the fans interact with you, that was truly a beautiful moment. which runs me into my next question. Final thoughts coming into Pensacola December 14th. On the match, the stipulations laid out in front of you, we need to know if there's an answer. We need to know, will the risen Brandon Collins step up and save Donnie Harris Jr.? Or will you relinquish that hard-fought title that you have given blood, sweat, and tears to get to save Donnie?
I don't know. It means a lot to me. And I've worked very hard for it. And it's my first ever singles title that I've earned by myself. I genuinely don't know.
Well, champ, congratulations. Unfortunate circumstances for our D1 champion. You have a lot of thoughts and a lot of things to think about. We appreciate you joining us this evening. And you heard it here first, folks. Zack Steel with the risen Brandon Collins, the new D1 champion. We will see you, Pensacola, Florida, December 14th. Get your tickets now.
Thanks for having me, man.
Hey, thanks for joining, brother.
Have a good evening, man.
You as well.